All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all the honor, the praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Baruch HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect scattered abroad. All right, this is Brother Barbazal here with a lesson, and Lord willing, it's edifying. So, this lesson will be entitled The Future of Babylon. All right. And when I go into Babylon or Babylon the Great, I'm going into, what people refer to as America, right? The United States, right? But, of course, according to the Bible, we know that, America is called Babylon the Great, all right? So we're going to get into it. We're going to start off with Isaiah 13:1. And we're just going to go through the spirit. So this is the book of Isaiah 13:1. This is the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hands that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Yeah, kind of, that's what we're doing. The banner, represents this truth, right? The banner can also represent, us going out there, with the 12 tribe sign, right? It's something that, that catches the people's eye, that the people see, and you could pretty much liken it unto a banner, right? Because, people walk up, the first thing they'll see, is the 12 tribe sign, going from, the northern kingdom or the southern kingdom to the northern kingdom, right? And it says, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hands that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And that's what we do. We go out there, preaching. All right. The people can see us. They can hear us. All right. We don't need any fancy gimmicks. We don't need these, loud microphones. All right. We go out there and, we preach the word. All right. All through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right. And, it started. This truth started, to spread out, started from Babylon the Great with our elders and apostles, you see. So verse 3, it says, I have commended my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. Yeah, so the Lord is in control of this, right? Meaning, the Esau, the heathens, all right? The Lord has a spirit on Esau, all right? And Esau, pretty much what's going to happen, all right, is he's going to, the Lord is going to make Esau, lead himself into his own destruction. Okay, we understand that, the missiles, all right, it's going to be shot to America. Thermonuclear missiles is going to be shot to America. All right, and it's going to destroy this place. All right, and the main destruction is going to come from where? All right, Russia. Russia is going to lead with that destruction. And other nations as well, which, the Russians going into, of course, the Russian Edomites, all right, not Japhites, you see? So it says, verse 5, it say, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Yeah, so they come from a far country. So basically they coming on from the other side of the world, right? Russia. You see? It says, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So this is all the Lord's doing. You see? It says the weapons of his indignation. What is the weapons of the Lord's indignation? The thermonuclear missiles that the Lord put the spirit on the Edomites, to come up with, right? Started with the German Edomites, if I'm not mistaken, right? Teaming. All right. And we can get that. We could actually get Let's get that destroying wind, because the scriptures go into Babylon being destroyed by a destroying wind. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send up unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And this hasn't happened yet. This is how you know that, all right, this ain't talk about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, man. This is a future prophecy that has yet to take place. All right, that's about to take place very soon. All right, it says, in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. All right, and that destroying wind is gonna come. It's gonna be that thermonuclear, fire. The radiation. All right, when the missiles hit, the fire, the impact of the fire. All right, it's going to turn into like a mushroom cloud, right? The scriptures go into that, like a turn it into a scroll. All right, actually, let's get that. Yeah, it shows up 2 times in the scriptures. So you got Isaiah 34, and you know what? We can start at 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the nation of the Lord is upon all nations. All right, going into the heathen nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. You see? Their slain shall also be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be filled with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. All right, so there you go. All right, so them scroll, so it's gonna so the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll that's going into the mushroom cloud. All right, that's going to form as a result of the missiles, all right, hitting the Babylonian soil. See, verse 5, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So this is going, so Idumea, this is talking about the Edomites. All right, and the Edomites are currently in rulership. All right, the Edomites currently rule, all right, the world that we live in, right? The Lord allowed this man to rule. All right, but it's going to come to a certain point in time that, this man, his kingdom has to be destroyed, and a righteous kingdom has to be set up. All right, and all that's going to be left of this place is it's going to be a wasteland, right? And it's not going to be inhabited. Right, let's get that. Let's go back to Isaiah 13, and we can get that real quick. All right. Here we go. It says, verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Right. And how did the Lord overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? All right, through that nuclear fire, man. Or not nuclear fire, Salakia, but through fire. All right, the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah through fire, man. All right, and that's the same way that Babylon is going to be destroyed, man. All right, but it's going to be an even greater destruction than it was when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. You see? Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So it's not going to be inhabited. All right. The Babylon is just going to be a place, that's where people won't dwell. It's going to be desert creatures and such. All right. So verse 20, verse 21, it says, "But wild beasts of the deserts shall lie there, and their houses shall be made full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate places, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged." You see? So there you go. All right? It's going to be a place for, eagles, owls, It's just going to be a desert land, a complete wasteland. All right? In the kingdom, right? Nobody going to be dwelling there, right? The Israelites, all right, isn't going to be dwelling there. The heathens ain't going to be dwelling there, all right? And that flame is actually going to be burning up, for a long, long time, man. We're not sure how long exactly it'll be, all right? But we know that, it's going to be a long time before, the fire goes out, you see? And then that's when it'll be inhabited by, the different desert creatures, right? But, that'll do it. That'll do it for the lesson. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor and praise and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Barak HaKodash. Shalom.